Trees. Trees. Um, trees are really good. You know, like I say, metal metal is just a mineral. It's been around for billions of years. I mean, ever since I probably figured out particle physics and probably figured out the molecular bonds or whatever of particles and stuff. And there's something about shock waves and heat and pressure that can make them become, it's complicated, and it's something I used to do a lot. When back billions or trillions of years ago, I used to do a lot of stuff with particles, particle creation, getting particles to get together, all that kind of stuff. Probably even the theory of particle matter. That was something that I did, that I used to do when I was like 100 trillion years ago. I was doing that stuff. But trees, I was messing around with trees because trees, well, they were new. Trees are a lot newer. Trees are old, but they're not that old. Not as old. Technically, metal, minerals, particles, they're older. Like, they don't really go away. They just, I think they're indestructible or nearly indestructible. Pretty sure they might be able to be used up. I don't know. Maybe somewhat. I don't know. But particle matter is very tough. It just changes state, kind of stuff. Although, I don't know about whether or not it goes away or how much goes away. I don't know. But basically, metal is metal. It pretty much just it's kind of around. There might be a way it just changes state, I think, or something like that. There's a way to do particle matter. I don't really know. Like, that was billions of years ago that I did that. Like 100 billion years ago, I was doing particles and particle matter. But trees, though, they were like the new thing. I mean, a living organism that like whatever. If I could get them strong enough, then they could be better than most metals. Like most metals, most particles, and all the particle creation and all the particle combinations figured out trillions of years ago. That was the easy part, or at least that was done a long time ago. But trees and making a living organism that would grow together and be strong and tight, that was new. That was the new thing, was trees. So, like doing stuff like for instance, they would do compound bends with use a steam thing, and do compound bends on wood to make these wooden cars. And then using a two-coat process, they would paint up the fenders, and you would think it was a normal metal fender, but it wasn't. It was a tree. And as long as it didn't get wet, and we were working on some like waterproof, or not waterproof, but denser wood that could be bent still, and still what's it called? It's one of those like little, like I said, I'm an epic creator, so I was like, if we can do this, let's see about that, And so my people and me, I guess we were working on trees and making some hardwood, especially some flame-proof hardwood or whatever, so some sort of new hardwood that was like ironwood or something really strong, and getting that created. The problem is that, of course, it grows really slowly, or at least fairly slowly. Anyway, and it all has to do with micro thing and how closely the fibers are and the weave or whatever. It's all. I'm more of a particle person and stuff. Like, I did do genetics, but not really. I mean, somewhat. It's kind of confusing because, like, I died or changed or whatever. Like I said, my existence, it's so long I can't even remember all of it. Like, it's 100 trillion years long. I'm surprised I remember as much as I do, which is basically just the brief overview of existence. So, so anyway, like I said, they would do the fender and it would be beautiful. I mean, this whole car, all out of wood, all 100% wood, and except for the engine and the axles, and we were trying to use as few metal parts as possible, just for fun, just one or two. We were only gonna make one or two, and we made a couple, and we actually ended up making like 30 or 1,200 or something, and they lasted for like 36 years or 50 years, without any body rust, of course. You just paint them up or whatever, put some tar on them, and they'd keep running. The bodies lasted longer than the actual engines. But yeah, they were all wood cars and stuff. And so we did that, I did that for a while, and I mean, metal, it's pretty easy to do. So, You know, I wasn't too worried about that, but anyway though, but then later on, like I say, creating like the some of the cars and stuff. So like the DeLorean and then the Lotus and other stuff and naming stuff. Like I said, I'm trillions of years old. It's like, well, did it a long time ago, and you know, just kicking it now. Like I said, I created 800 galaxies, probably more like 3,000 galaxies at one point in time. And then, you know, and was the creator of life and humanity and endoskeleton and exoskeletons. And then later on, I was just debated about whether or not I was what's called. And then I was Brian because I changed my name to Brian. And they're like, well, you're not Lucifer. It's like, yeah. And it's with an S, not a C. Say it's SS, Lucifer Star, with an S. Because that's why it was the SS Titanic. The SS, what's it called? The SS Lusitania. That's what the SS meant, was Lucifer Star. 2 S's. So, anyway, it's just to throw people off a little bit because, you know, I mean, well, you can make anything. So I was just taking the S and S. And I think it's because it makes a infinity sign if you put them together. Because it's SS, and then if you just took one and folded it over, it's infinity. So... anyway, because, you know, to kind of commemorate my epic existence and everything else like that. You know, I did a lot of cute jokes like that, like the FU fighter, F4U fighter, and just like little, like if you look in the files and in the things of around you, you will see like little jokes here and there, street signs that mean something different in another language. When I was doing it, I was like, oh yeah, this would be funny, you know, and put it out there. And all that, you know, and you would never even know it, like how I was always around and always doing things, and I had to do this or do that, and then I would just do these cute little quirks because I'm building all these cities and all this stuff, and it's like, well, okay, let's go ahead and do this, you know, and then I build like the first stuff, and then everything else, and then people just kind of like copy and follow along. So anyway. Like I say, most people wouldn't even know about the old wooden fender cars and the old steam presses that used to press wood into any shape we wanted. Like that was like possibly 5,000 years ago. Like I'm not exactly even sure. Or at least like 1910 probably, or 18 whatever. I think they all got smashed or destroyed by year like 18 something or other. Anyway though. You know, like I said, for like 1,000, it doesn't take that long to build and become epic. So like I had those cars running around and stuff, and I had some other cars running around, and then, you know, later on I did the DeLorean like 1925 or so when I was Brian, because I wanted to commemorate my epic car building things and my epic creation and all that, and lots of commemorations. And then I wanted lots of stuff like some cool stuff like the thing, and then there was a problem of feeding the workers, and I had other little problems like the plague and other things. You know, my work sites had problems, people had problems because they were without resources or whatever. It's like, well, I've done it before, we'll do it again, and so it's just like this, you know. I mean, and then, you know, I mean, I'm a leader, I'm an epic leader, so it's like, well, no matter where you are, here I am. So so I started leading the people again or whatever, or, you know, and or something like that. It's like, well, I can always lead again. So anyway, so, you know, because I was, and so just becoming again, you know, so it's not really a big deal, really. I mean, I could almost start anywhere and become epic. It's not that hard. Anyway, though, so like Panama and a lot of other things, and I miss my Germans. I really do. They're really good people. I really, really adored them. I mean, they did medical, all those aircraft, they're all medical. The cross always meant medical. It never meant war. It was they were a medical battalion, you know, and I think it's because the blood wouldn't show as easy on the black clothes.